hear about that, Dolly? One year when we were voting on the animal control, the humane shelter, county was over their budget. Every animal lover in the world came to the courthouse and brought their dogs. He talked about it was great people. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Our mayor is not here right now today. He is off somewhere else. If he's watching, I'll wave hi. Hi, Mayor. Can you watch this on, can you stream this? Are we streaming? Anybody know?
No.
Yeah, okay. So if he's watching, hello, Mayor. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Our first item on our, well, the first thing we need to do is get the roll call. We can have that.
Councilman Anderson,
Present.
Councilman Woodford,
Present.
Mayor Swallows, Vice Mayor Elps,
Here.
Councilman Albright,
Present.
4 present, 1 absent.
Okay, we have a quorum. Everybody would stand with me. We'll have a moment of silent prayer, followed by the invocation. You bow your heads. Amen. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We're under section of old business. Under old business, and item 2 is considered the approval of minutes of the council meeting held.
We got to do the agenda.
Oh, my bad. We need to consider the approval of the agenda as presented. And if I could have a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Not hearing any. We now can vote. Vote yes or no.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Now, on to item 2, an old business. That first item is to consider the approval of the minutes of the council meeting held on July 7th. That's 2011. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, please vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Okay, on to item 3. It says that we are to consider, this is the second and final reading of ordinance it's item 0110606, rezoning northwest corner of Foreman Drive and Bill Smith Road. It's on the tax map. It's number 65, portion of parcel 57.02. This goes from RS10 single-family residential to CG commercial, general commercial. And this is sponsored by Mr. James Mills.
Mr. Vice Mayor and council members, the property that's been proposed for rezoning is depicted on the screen. This rezoning was initiated by the property owners, and the request is for a portion of the property. The Planning Commission is recommending for approval of the rezoning request. The Planning Department concurs with this recommendation, and we've received no calls or comments since first reading.
All right. Do we have any questions for Mr. Mills?
I move that we accept this.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. And yes, now, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Mills at all?
No.
You've had no questions, no calls. Okay.
All right. Are you prepared to vote? Okay. Everybody, please vote. Yes or no?
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right. Item 4, consider on the second, this is the second final reading of ordinance 0110607, rezoning properties on South Jefferson Avenue, Commerce Avenue, and Arthur Drive. And this on the tax map, these are numbers 66C-A-35, 35.03, 35.06, 35.09, 35.1, portion of 1.01. This is to be zoned from C1 commercial industrial to CG general commercial. And again, Mr. Mills sponsors this.
Mr. Vice Mayor, members, this is the location of the properties being considered for rezoning. There's an aerial view. This rezoning was initiated by the Planning Department. The area consists of 5 parcels in their entirety and the portion of one other. The Planning Commission is recommending for approval of the rezoning. The Planning Department concurs with this, and we've received no calls or comments since first reading.
Move to approve.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments from any of the councilmen? All right, hearing none, are you prepared to vote? Vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. All right, we're on to new business. First item on new business is item 5, and this is to consider resolution number R110707. This authorizes the participation in the TML Risk Management Pool, listed as Safety Partners Loss Control Matching Grant Program. This is sponsored by Ms. Gail Fowler.
Vice Mayor and Council, this resolution will authorize the City of Cookeville to make application for a Safety Partners Loss Control Matching Grant through the Tennessee Municipal League's Risk Management Pool. The City of Cookeville realizes the safety and well-being of its employees and citizens is of great importance and strives to provide a safe and hazard-free workplace. Our proposal is to purchase 300 traffic safety cones. The purchase of these cones will allow our employees to more adequately set up work zones that are typical in their work environment, provide for better traffic control during special events, and allow our emergency services personnel to adequately train in emergency vehicle operator courses. These cones will be distributed between the various departments as needed. If the grant is approved, the City of Cookeville's 50% matching amount would be $2,590, and I would respectfully request your adoption of the resolution.
All right, do I
So moved.
Second.
have a motion and a second? What questions do you guys have for Ms. Fowler?
I just have a question about those safety cones. Do we have a problem with those going missing? Anybody know?
I think sometimes we do, and also when we have large events or special large projects that we find we are short and in need of additional ones, and sometimes we have to rent them. So I think it will serve a good need.
What I have a question. Where does this come out of the where's this removed from budget-wise? Where does the money come from?
Mr. Shipley?
Just curious. To go, is it for police?
Probably a miscellaneous account. I don't know at this point. It's that $2590 is not specifically budgeted. I don't think it'll require a budget amendment, but
No. And the main reason for the request for the resolution is the agency request that
Right.
from the governing agency to submit the application.
it'll come out of the general fund somewhere.
Well, with it
Maybe-
being shared
maybe
among
so.
the various departments, you might find some way to
We'll find some
share the
creative
cost.
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm not gonna be the dissenting vote, so we can't get cones, but because I like having them around when you go out to run these races around here. They come in handy. So I was just curious. Okay. Any other questions, comments from any other council members? Okay. If not, let's go ahead and vote. Please vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Gail. Okay, item 6. This is consider resolution number R110708, authorizing the submission of an application to TDOT for participation in the local interstate connecting route program. And Mr. Shipley is presenting this for us.
Mr. Vice Mayor and Council, this is TDOT has indicated that for the connector road, for the road that's going to connect the 5th interchange to Highway 70, we will be eligible for 2 different local interstate connector grants, which are 50-50 grants. It could be as high as $2 million apiece, which would really help us build that road. It's something that has to be built and has to be built in conjunction with the 5th interchange. So I would recommend your approval.
All right, do I
So
hear a
moved.
motion?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Questions? Comments?
No, we need it. So we have to. TDOT says we have to have that road.
Well, they have agreed, as long as we don't get any federal money in the
Right.
project, we can build that. It's going to be a local road. It's going to be a city street, so it does not have to be a limited access interstate highway type road.
Well, good. That's
Because
good
we
to
have to get the right of way for a divided 4-lane road, but all we have to build at this time is a 2-lane road. We're pretty sure of that.
Well, that's good.
I do have a question. It kind of brings up something that struck me interest, and I think you've probably already answered, but just for clarification. But by doing it this way, does this give us more of an opportunity to control what type of road that is put in there?
Yes, as long as
Whereas
you keep the federal dollars out of it,
Okay.
you're good.
And by having that control, we can, we don't, by not having somebody else tell us what to put in there, we can develop it according to whatever safety concerns that we have for the area or for the business infrastructure needs, et cetera.
Well, one of the big complaints about this, about any road that goes through somebody's property, is that okay, you're going to build a road through my property, but you're not going to give me access to this road. That's so by doing it this way as a local road and keeping the federal funds out of it, I think we can have just a local street.
We can. I kind of like to use the word good neighbor.
Yeah.
The city can be a good neighbor instead of being told what to do by the federal government or the Department of Transportation. So I think that's an important thing to consider when we begin the building project. So I like that very much. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
None.
Okay. And so let's vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right. Item 7 is to consider awarding bids for patrol vehicles, prison transport seats with belts, emergency response equipment, night vision devices, body armor, and helmets. And this is being brought to us by Chief Bob Terry.
Vice Mayor and Council, the Police Department has advertised and received bids on several items. And if I could, I'd like to present the bids to you collectively, and I'd be glad to stop and answer any questions you have at any time. The first bid tab is for police vehicles. The company getting that bid is Chevrolet of Murfreesboro. Second bid tab is for prisoner transport seats. The low bid meeting specifications for that is Truckers Lighthouse. The next two tabs, 3 and 4, are for emergency response equipment. The lowest bid, not the lowest bid, but the best bid meeting specifications is Truckers Lighthouse. And the reason, if you do the math, I'd be glad to tell you the reason we're going with them, there's a $500 difference between Truckers Lighthouse and the lowest bid. The lowest bid is a company in Florida, and Truckers Lighthouse has a local sales rep, and they work out of Nashville. And we get the same day response and turnaround time for equipment that may need to be replaced or that just goes bad. And it eliminates a whole lot of shipping and manpower issues back and forth as far as getting somebody to ship the stuff, somebody to pick it up, bring it back. This particular sales rep literally goes to Nashville, picks the item up, and takes it to the place where we have the item put on. So it really expedites that whole process, and that's the reason we're recommending them. The next bid tab is for a night vision device. The lowest bid meeting specifications is Craig's Firearms. And the next bid is for body armor, and the lowest bid meeting specifications is also Craig's Firearms. And the last bid is for tactical helmets, and the low bid meeting specifications for that is a company called Kejo. And I would recommend your approval for all these items and be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay. We have motion and a second. Any questions for Chief Terry at all?
I was just curious on this body armor. You got two different levels. Is one of them for like a daily officer and one's for a SWAT team?
One would be for a SWAT officer and one would be for a regular patrol officer.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You might also add the helmets that we're replacing. We're not replacing them. There are tactical helmets that will be given to the SWAT officers. Some of them, those helmets that SWAT officers have, will be handed down to other officers that we still need to have helmets, but don't need to have that same level of protection.
Okay.
And these are budgeted items.
They're all budgeted items, yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Council members? Okay. If we don't have any other questions, let's go ahead and vote. Everybody vote?
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chief Terry. Okay, we're at the end of our agenda. This is part of our meeting where if there's any citizens or delegations that would like to have any questions or comments, it's their opportunity to do so now.
Vice Mayor Epps, I wanted to highlight that this is the last weekend of Man of La Mancha at the Cookeville Performing Arts Center, and it's Friday night, Saturday matinee, Saturday night and Sunday, no Sunday matinee. Oh, tomorrow night, tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday matinee, and then Saturday. And it's on the website, and it's easy to get. You just call for tickets at the Cookeville Performing Arts Center. And also wanted to mention that in 2 weeks' time we'll have the After Dark Run on August the 5th for raising funds for Dogwood Park. And I know it's hot outside, but I still see people outside walking. And I have to say that I walk my dog, and I go to Dogwood Park, and I'm never there that there aren't people already there. And I just can't imagine what it's going to be like when it's completed and beautiful. And I mean, it's beautiful as it is, but it needs a little grass.
That may be a while coming, grass. Do I have a motion for grass? Motion for grass? Okay, it dies with no second. All right.
I'll vote for the grass. I'll vote for the grass.
All right, if there are no other, then we'll go ahead and have this meeting adjourned.
One down.
Way to go, parliamentarian.
I was going to ask you before we came back to
You never know when we need you, right?
You know what's worse, though, is